Hey guys, what's up? So I just want to do a quick video. I'm going to warn you right now. This is probably going to be super rambly, but I'm doing it in between like a tiny break of recording a podcast, which by the way, I'm doing a podcast now with my friend Nash, who I've made a video with before. I highly recommend you check it out. It's all things transition or whatever. I mean, even if you're not trans, it's good to listen to. So if you want to check out the podcast, we are on iTunes. It's called Transitional Wisdom. You can also check out the website. I will link it down below. Check that out, subscribe, let me know what you think. And moving on from that, so this video is gonna be rambly. It's just something that I have been thinking about, and a lot of times when there's something on my mind, I just feel like I should talk about it, even though I haven't really always collected those thoughts or processed them completely. But something I've been thinking about lately is kind of my mindset perspective shift that happened when I turned 31. So January 3rd, I turned 31, and I kind of was thinking that this sort of perspective shift or like something grand would happen after I hit the age of 30, or like I was 30 years old, but it was kind of a dud. It was kind of a dud year, like nothing really felt different. I expected, you know, you hit 30 and you're like, sweet, peace out. 20s, never looking back, I'm an adult kind of thing. But that's not exactly how it happened. I still don't feel like an adult. I don't know if I ever will. But the perspective shift that I did get was all of a sudden, I hit 31 and realized that I am in control. Not only am I in control, but life is short. And this all happened, I think, because I started really taking responsibility and shifting from like this victim mentality to more of like this taking responsibility mentality, which is actually really powerful. Because if you start taking responsibility for things, then you do realize that you are actually in control. And, you know, I felt out of control for a really long time, being my background of, you know, being trans and feeling out of control, not in my body, going through a puberty that I can't really control, living within these religion box guidelines that I kind of just feel like they tell you, you know, God is in control, just give it all up to him. So, you know, you feel like you're going through life not really having control over anything. But then something happens. You realize, oh, I am in control. I can do things. I can put action into things, and something actually happens. Life is this wonderful learning process, and it's about trial and error. And I can either sit stagnant or sit in this victim mentality of I can't do this because of this, I can't do this because I'm trans, I can't do this because I'm poor, I can't do this because I didn't go to school, I didn't go to college, I didn't, you know, whatever it is that you feel like is a roadblock to you. If you take responsibility for where you're at and then own it and think about why, and then you can kind of think about how to get out of there and realize that you can take steps to change that situation. I can't change the fact that I was born female, but I'm owning up to the fact that this is my life. And I can either just sit and dwell on that fact and just wish that I was born biologically male and then kind of feel bad for myself, or feel like I'm a victim of some sort of natural disaster or genetic mutation or some sort of disadvantaged life, or I can put it to use in advantage. When I think about it, specifically in this point, when, you know, coming out is hard. That is something that I've had to do a couple of times now, and it's always scary. It's never easy. Living more honestly and open is never easy, but when it comes to coming out, I've realized I actually have more of an advantage in this situation because everybody has secrets and not everyone really has to come out with those secrets. So I feel like I'm actually fortunate that I've had to come out before, so it helps me live a more true life because I have a lot less fear in that area of being vulnerable and honest and all those things. It's not to mean that anyone who's trans is automatically authentic, but I feel like we have more practice, or we have practice like in not being so afraid to like show our true selves. And there's a lot of people out there who are living their lives never being their true selves because they haven't had to come out in any way, shape, or form, like whether it's coming out with a mental illness or coming out with whatever it is. But I also, you know, it's kind of an advantage to me. I feel like I've walked this world in with two different perspectives, from the female and male end, and I think that, you know, of course they say it makes you the person that you are, and I definitely believe that is true, and you only get one life, but I feel like I've lived as close as I can to 2 lives as possible. So not only do I feel like I've gotten a second chance at life, I feel like there are advantages to being trans. If you want to make it that way. Of course it has its disadvantages, but every single time someone hurts me, says that I'm still a woman, says that I can't do something, says that I'm a freak, all of that is just, it's motivating to me. You can, like, when I want fuel for a workout, I go into that workout and I think of all the things that people tell me that I can't do or can't be, or that I'm a freak, and I use that energy and I use that anger to get stuff done and prove them wrong. And I feel like any negative energy that you have in your life, you can totally flip it to work to your advantage. And I think that is something that has happened when I turned 31. I don't know why. It's kind of just like a clicking aha moment that I'll never forget. It was just a moment where I stopped and realized I am in control of my life. If I want to do these things, if I want to be a personal trainer, if I want to be my own boss, if I want to run my own business, I can do that. I just have to do it. So I know I've kind of talked about this a lot, of just doing, less thinking, more doing, but I've really just, I'm trying to really process what has changed from this point from before. And I think, you know, it has to do with getting older, and also, you know, being at the tail end of my transition and finally feeling free from trying to show people who I am, because I'm here now and I feel more whole as a person, and I'm just a lot more open to failure and trying things and being more open to stepping outside my comfort zone and really growing. And I've gotten to a point that I've never been at before, where I feel uncomfortable being comfortable. Like, if I'm not at least pushing myself a little bit every day, every week with something new, then I feel more anxious, if that makes sense. So I don't know, like I said, this video is gonna be rambly. That was like literally just something I was thinking about when I was working out today, and it's just been a really powerful year so far, and one of the best years so far. And I've been thinking also, like, if I fail, it doesn't matter. And this quote kind of like went in my mind. It was one of those quotes that was just like, what is something that you would do, or what's something worth doing even if you fail? And this is it. So I'm just keeping that in mind, and I just feel really happy right now and stoked that I'm being able to do what I'm doing, and I'm so thankful for you and for you listening to these rambles. Let me know if you relate to this in any way, shape, or form, or if you understand anything that I just rambled about. But I just want to encourage everyone that if there is something that you feel like is a roadblock for you, or if there's something where you feel disadvantaged, that I encourage you to use that as your fuel, as your fire, like to actually get somewhere. I feel like having worked harder to just be myself, everything else should be cake. So I'm gonna end it here, but just know that you are way more powerful than you think. You can, if you're on a fitness journey, take responsibility for being where you're at that moment, and know that you can change that. You really do have the power. You can make excuses, or you can realize that you can change. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Peace out. I'll see you next time.